Welcome. It's Morning Motivation with AthinaElaiya. Thank you for joining us. It's always a blessing to have you on our channel, where it's our mission to share a piece of forever together. The look of the week is provided by Jessica's Body Boutique. Welcome. It's Morning Motivation. Thank you for joining us. I have an incredible guest with me today. I'm so excited. Just an amazing soul. He's a musician and an activist. So it's my pleasure to introduce Devine Carama.
Hey,
Thank
friend.
you so much.
It's good to see you.
I'm so happy to see you. I'm
see
so
you.
happy you're here.
Yeah.
And you are somebody that I truly look up to. You've always been somebody that's been on such a beautiful path and just always inspiring people, and especially women.
Yeah.
So I've just always loved that especially in your music, that's where I find a lot of comfort knowing that there are men like you. That we don't always have to talk about crazy, wild stuff.
That's right.
Right?
It's that balance. I think, because I wasn't always the man I am now. And so growing into who I am is all about balance, right? Because there's so much negativity out there. What can you do to offset that? What can you do to kind of be the alternative? So I always challenge myself to try to do that. And everything that I do, show these kids something different. You know what I mean? Let them know it's options. And I just want to be a different option for them. So.
An example.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you're such an example. I really am happy to have you on the show because you've done incredible things.
I appreciate it.
Incredible things. So one of the first things I do want to go ahead and talk about, actually, and I know off camera, I'm going to rearrange, okay? But I want to actually go ahead and talk about how you were appointed by both the governor and the mayor to serve Kentucky. Yeah. I just kind of want to start there because I feel like that's such an honor and a privilege.
Yeah.
And so I want to know how that came to be.
Well, for me, years of hard work. Didn't come from a lot of money, no college degree, never worked in government before, grassroots, working in the streets, working with youth. I wasn't the prototype for the type of work that I'm doing now. Normally that's those that come from a path that is laid out for this type of work. And for me, it literally was my grind and my work and my passion that created these opportunities. And so 2020 was a crazy year for everybody. Just the social unrest, the pandemic, and a lot of the activism work that I was doing here in Lexington got the attention of the governor, and he appointed me to the Human Rights Commission just to continue fighting for those who need people to advocate for them. And then here on the local level, we were seeing the gun violence start to spike up, not just here, all over the country. And a lot of it was coming from youth and young adults, which is where I did the majority of my work. And so just those years of grinding, sleeping on an air mattress, being a single dad, still doing the work, it got the mayor's attention. And so she hired me to be a part of her administration to focus on youth violence. So it's really just years of work that led me to those opportunities. So I'm grateful.
It's amazing. Yeah, the work that you've done. Okay, let's just give the audience, for the people who don't know you, just one thing. So you have a coat drive that you do every year for high schools. Is it high schools or
it's
all?
It's K through 12 now.
Okay, so it's all, because it was high schools, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
okay. I was like, no, hold on now. I know what you be doing. I follow you for real.
That's how we started.
High school. So talk to me about that. How you started this? It's your program?
Yeah. So this is through my nonprofit, Believing in Forever Inc. And so I guess 8 years ago, because this will be our 8th annual one this year, 8th or 9th. It's crazy.
It's incredible
that we've been doing it this long. But it was literally me driving to work, seeing a kid on a bus stop with no coat. And, I asked him, I said, "Where's your coat?" And he was like, my mom said I got to wait till the check after the next check. And I started thinking about my struggles and being a single parent and understanding, man, people really out here hurting. So let's do a coat drive. In the first year, we did used coats, new coats. We gave away like 50.
I remember.
You know what I mean? 50,
I legitimately
yeah,
remember the first one.
50 coats. And then over the years, it's grown to where we're giving away over 3,000 brand new coats all over Kentucky. And really, it's not even my coat drive anymore because the community has kind of adopted it. Like, we got so many partnerships, it's crazy. Like, from Myers to Target to Walmart to local vendors, all of them are pouring in, and we just continue to bless more kids every year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we just stuck with it. And it's not easy, but it's always around Christmas time, and that's what the season is about. So even though it's hard work, it's a blessing though too.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, now that I'm here in Lexington with you, I really want to be a part of that.
Yeah, come on. Welcome
And like
back.
volunteering.
I would love for you
I want to
to.
volunteer. I would love to help with that.
Yeah.
100%. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because I just think that's incredible.
Yeah. Every
just
kid
the
deserves
smallest
a
thing
coat.
of a coat.
Yeah,
Like,
every kid deserves a coat.
and you know, it's funny because you know sometimes how kids, you're like, it's cold outside. Why are they not wearing coats? And I wonder if it's just the adaptation of maybe they really couldn't have a coat.
That's right. They've
Right?
gotten used to it. Yeah,
And
no question.
and they adapt to that nature, which is scary, right?
Yeah,
So it's beyond a blessing, I know, for parents. I can't even imagine the type of response that you get from the parents.
And it's the psychology. I think I said in a rhyme one time, a kid in school was asked by security to remove his hood, but sometimes kids wear their hood to hide their insecurities, right? Just kind of a double entendre, but it's things that kids go through. It's that trauma. They're conditioned to live a certain lifestyle. A lot of them feel they don't deserve certain things. So it's the psychology too, which is why we do brand new coats. Nah, we're not gonna give you some hand-me-downs. You deserve more. We want you to feel valued. And
Absolutely.
so it's not just a coat, but it's a little bit more than that. So
It's a lot more than that.
yeah.
It's a lot more than that. And it's showing that someone is capable of providing things like this, which then opens the door in their mind subconsciously that they can potentially have something to help provide for the community.
That's it.
So it's just so subconscious.
That's it.
So thank you for what you're doing.
I appreciate
It's
it.
just like beyond.
Yeah, God is good. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So you're a girl dad,
Yep.
right? And
Proud
an amazing husband as well.
Appreciate
An
that.
amazing husband as well.
Now my wife would argue, but
Well, Sierra's gorgeous. So
She is.
you all are absolutely a
She
stunning
is.
couple. Stunning couple. I was so proud of you and so happy when you got married and just
yeah.
because I know your journey.
Yeah.
I've known you since I was like,
Long
how
time.
old was I? Like,
Long
I mean,
time.
15, I mean, like,
The majority of our
I was
our life.
I was in
Yeah.
high school
Yeah.
when I met you, and so you know you've always been a little older than me, just like a real role model. And like I remember you doing this significant change when I
Yeah.
was in college.
Yeah.
Like this significant jump,
Yep,
and
night
I
and
was
day.
just like, oh, okay, like this is.
Night and day. It
This
was,
is-
to be honest, it was just God like sparing me. You know, me being young, having 2 kids at the same time, you know, out of wedlock, coming back home from playing ball, being a single father, no college degree, figuring out my next step, kind of led me to the streets a little bit, surviving that, coming back, and just wanting to be a better man, like for my kids. You know what I'm saying? It was something just clicked in me, like, this isn't about your life, but what are you going to leave behind for your children, for your community? And I remember coming back and people were asking me, because I lived in North Carolina for a little bit. I remember I came back and people were like, yo, can you do a benefit concert to help bury my cousin? He got shot and killed. Quentin Roberts was like, can you help raise money for my AAU team? And I felt like God was saying, this is what you need to use your talents for.
Right.
And just something clicked in me. Because a lot of people that's known me for a long time knows that I wasn't always like this, but you know, when God intervenes in your life, shows you a different path, like it can switch like that.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's what happened to me. And I'm not perfect, but he definitely got me on the right path. And so every day I try to honor that, you know, because I'm lucky to be alive, you know what I'm saying? So,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for me too, like,
Yeah.
because your mental health is everything. A lot of
Yes.
times the thing for people you know, even for the people who haven't had the story of being on the streets or living the street life, even for those people,
Yeah.
it's mental health.
That's right.
But also for
right.
the people who have dealt with the streets, that's as well mental health, right?
We all got these challenges.
Challenges. So I'm thankful. I feel like, you know, the Creator saved me just mentally, just got my mind together.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what helped me focus and really get to my purpose.
And I can see it. You glowing. And I told you this.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
I hit you
thank
up
you.
a couple months ago. Like, it's just this different light and life in you. And you just see that change and it inspires you. You know what I'm saying? And so
Thank
God
you.
is good. You know, we've been in this, we've been doing this for a long time.
Long time.
Respectively. And, you know, look where we are now, right where we're supposed to be. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which is why I was like, there's no way. Like, come on. You had to be on the show, right? It's like, you know, you are a staple in Lexington. In other places, but you are a staple in Lexington.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge to be from somewhere and be a staple, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about something that's a little sensitive.
Sure.
And you have total 4 daughters.
Yes.
Yes. And one has passed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Kamaria.
Yeah.
So,
Which means moon. So we
Which
called her
means
Luna, was her nickname. Yeah.
okay. And so, I mean, I can't even imagine what that would feel like. And I just wonder for sometimes maybe the people out there, because I feel like so many people go through stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I just wonder what your healing process is. And I know this is such a sensitive subject, so
it's
you know,
real.
feel comfortable to talk about it however you feel. But
Yeah.
I just wonder, how has your healing process been for you?
Yeah. For me, I always try to find purpose in pain. But at the same token, you can't rush the process. And so I think for me, a little bit when she first passed, obviously being a girl dad, loving my girl, she was just at the house a couple days prior. She was on her way to college and just to begin life. Obviously, it crushed and killed me, and we were in the middle of the pandemic. And we're in the middle of the social unrest. So it was so much trauma that we was dealing with anyway. And even her home going, we couldn't invite all our friends and family because of the COVID restrictions. So it was really, really tough. But I think being in the house, being forced to stay in the house and be close with your family, I think that helped. Because she had so many things she wanted to do, and I had the platform to kind of honor her legacy. And so we started the Luna Library in her name. Her mother started a blood drive in her name. Her high school honored her at STEAM. And so we just kind of try to continue her legacy through us.
Good.
And so I think that's helped a little bit. But when you lose a child, grief is not linear, right? Some days you straight, but then some days you can't move, literally. And so it's understanding that process and giving yourself the space to continue the process, because for everybody else, life goes on. It's RIP, sorry about your baby girl, and then after a week, the texts and calls stop coming, you left to deal with it. And so it's just a process, and it's a balance in that, because I'm the strong one in the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I got her little sisters I got to be strong for them. My mom has lost a lot, My dad passed away a couple years before my daughter, so being strong for her, but then you still have to also be aware of your own mental health. And so it's a process, but she had a lot of great things she was working on, and now it's up to us to just keep it going, and we doing that. Doing that. Yeah.
It's such a challenge. Like, life is life brings you so many things, and then it takes so many things, and then it gives you so many things, and this balance of how to deal with it all is so, I feel like therapy should be mandatory.
Yeah. Yeah, mental health is
It
so
should
important.
be
Yeah,
just given away for free.
yeah.
Because I used to want to be a psychologist. I went
Mm-hmm.
to school for fashion marketing and psychology. So mental health is such an important thing for me because we're all going to go through it. It's
Mm-hmm.
inevitable. And so to have somebody to talk you through things, to
Yeah.
help you get through things,
Navigate
is just,
things. Yeah.
and navigate and help
Yeah.
with the perception of life is like,
Yeah.
because I don't even have words for what you've been like. I don't even have words for that. You know what I mean? It's just such
And I think that's part of it too. Is like because COVID, because people are experiencing loss, right? With the violence spiking, like, and a lot of it is youth, and so a lot of people have lost kids, and so everything happens for a reason. And obviously, this definitely strengthened my faith because I was questioning, like, yo, God, like, what's going on, right? But then when I got appointed to this new job, I'm constantly talking to mothers and fathers who have lost their children to gun violence. And so being able to kind of relate and use my experience and my process to minister to them, she's saving lives and helping people even, in her death. You know what I'm saying? So you just try to
Absolutely.
process things and understand it the best you can and understand you ain't going to understand everything. You know what I mean? You got to be
Preach. That is
cool
a
with that.
word.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yep. Yep. Faith, it is what it is. It's faith. You can't
It's
see.
blind.
That's right.
Yeah.
Word.
Well, I want to honor you for just being so strong and just even just having the strength to talk to me about that because I do know I don't know what that feels like, and I mean it's amazing that you have that platform to be able to help other people through it, and that's the way that you see it.
Yeah.
Versus going the other direction, which is very easy to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like just completely turning away and shutting down on your wife and shutting down on the other children in your life, and it's just then they suffer.
That's right.
So it's just like such an honorable thing to just stay strong, and I don't know, I just would like to
Continue to
encourage
deal
you
with
and
it.
let you know, like, it's such a blessing to have people like you in this world.
I appreciate that.
And I really mean that.
I know. I appreciate
Like,
that.
I mean that. So, after that heavy conversation, because that's like, I'm an empathic person, so I'm just always going to be like,
You're going to feel it.
I'm just going to want to love on you and hug on you. And so let's talk about your album.
Yeah.
So you're on,
Yes.
It's your third? It's your,
So this is the third of a series.
okay. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. And so
Kentucky.
first of all, let's talk about this name,
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
First of all, when you emailed me, I was like, okay, this is literally made for him. This name is literally made for him.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
pretty much basically
Yeah.
are. We know what's up.
And it, so the name came from like a freestyle I spit like back in '96. I was in high school.
Do y'all see how young this man looks? Talking about I was in high school in '96.
High
Like,
school. Look,
What?
I might look young, but my knees, golden era knees. That's when I came up with the name, and I toyed with it a little bit, and it was more of because I was always, peace king, peace queen. That's how I address my people. You know what I mean? And so, but then as I got really into the music and start rapping, traveling, spent a lot of time in coming back and forth to New York. And I started thinking, I might be one of the kings of this rap thing, putting
And you
words
are.
together.
and that's what you became. That's literally
hip-hop,
what you became.
You got to brag a little bit.
You
It's
gotta
hip-hop.
speak life out
You do.
into yourself, and
You
that's
do.
literally what you are. You are literally one of the kings of Lexington,
I
of Kentucky.
I appreciate that.
It's
Sean
it's
Price.
real.
Sean Price.
It's real.
From New York, God rest his soul, one of my favorite MCs all the time.
Shine
of
Bright?
all time, Sean Price.
Sean Price.
And he told me, he said, you one of the nicest I've ever heard, you know what I mean? And that's coming from one of my favorites. And so he said, you a king. And when he told me that was probably around 2009, 2010. So I started playing with it a little more. And in 2016, I dropped the first Kentucky album. A couple years later, Kentucky 2, and then this year, Kentucky 3. And the difference with this Kentucky series is When I first got into music, my style was very lyric driven. You know, I came up through battle rap, epic battles growing up is how I got my name up. I was a big Wu-Tang fan, had the thesaurus and the dictionary when I'm writing, you know what I mean? And so as I got older, though, my music transitioned into more socially conscious, spiritual
Thank God.
topics. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. But there was
No
a
shade
lot
to
of
Wu-Tang and them. I love them.
no,
We love them. We
you know,
love them.
We love the bars,
We
right?
love them.
But for me, I kept thinking, man, when I die, this is my story. Like
Yes.
this will be forever. But there was a lot of core fans that loved the transition, but they felt there was a gift that I had with words that they missed. Me just rapping, right? And so King Tucky was kind of designed to bring that back. So the King Tucky albums are different than the other albums in my discography because it's more focused on the penmanship. Still some of the same topics, that's never gonna leave because that's who I am as a man, but pushing the pen a little bit more nuanced and rhyme schemes and things like that. So last year I dropped King Tucky 3. I think it's my best project.
You think it's your best project?
I think so.
Well, I'm
appreciate
gonna
it.
have to, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't heard King Tucky 3 yet.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
And I knew I was gonna have this interview, but I wanted to really focus on what we have now, and I want to go back, and so I'm gonna go back and listen to 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And I'll shoot you my review.
Let me know what you think.
The thing is this though, y'all. So he did a song. What was the song that you had me in for your music video? When was that? 10 years? 10 years? 12 years ago?
We had the 10-year anniversary a couple years ago.
So it was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Because it was just a couple years before I left for New York.
That's right. And it was Hang On to the World.
Hang On to the World. Such a good song.
Great song.
The crazy thing when you talk about your penmanship is I am a lyric person, which is why it's really, really, it's become as I've grown, really hard for me to listen to certain rap.
Yeah.
And previously, my ears were just sensitive, and so I couldn't listen to a lot of reckless rap anyway. Just my whole life in general.
Yeah.
But now, I really can't. It's like even.
We matured. You just, yeah.
I went to a concert in New York with. I'm not even gonna say that, but I went to a concert for and there were 3 people performing, and on one person I couldn't even move. Like my spirit was like,
I can't do it.
I can't even. It was so weird.
Yeah.
I couldn't even function. I was like, I can't. And I was just like in this concert, the other 2 people, I was like, woo! And then the third person came out, I was like.
And you know, I'm gonna tell you this, cause
It was weird.
You are old enough. I know I'm a little older than you, but you are old enough to remember, on a mainstream level, rap it was diverse, cause you had the gangster rap, you had all of that, but then you had a Common, a Lauryn Hill, a Nas, you know what I mean? Even for the later generation, a J. Cole, a Kendrick. But today, where is that?
Well, who?
The balance.
You know, yeah, I totally agree.
My
I can't
homegirl,
even.
Rhapsody, she's incredible. She's from North Carolina, you know what I mean? And she's an incredible MC. But where does she fit in with the City Girls and the Cardis and?
Well, that's okay. She doesn't have to fit in. That's the point.
No, but I mean, how come she can't be as amplified?
Well, she'll get there.
Yeah, we gotta support her.
We gotta support her.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah.
Shout out to Rhapsody.
Shout out.
Yeah, she's
looking out for you.
She's incredible. Yeah.
But my point of bringing all that up, I got off. But my point of bringing all that up was your penmanship. And that's something that I've always remembered. That's something that I've always recognized in your music.
I appreciate that.
Because I'm such a lyric person. I hear it, and I'm also very aware of the way I speak to myself and about myself, and the way I speak to other people and about them.
Yeah.
Because I believe that life and death is in the tongue.
No question.
Right? So I always want to speak life onto myself and other people. So I have to be very aware of what I'm saying and what's coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
So one line I'll never forget from you is when I was in the video and that we did for Hang On to the World, is when you said something about we give church hugs.
That's right.
He said, my lady.
Yeah.
Do you remember that line? What's that line?
Double entendre, I do. I think it was, think it was something about going to church with her out. Now she giving me hugs with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Respect. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It was
those
a double
words
entendre.
switched up. Yeah.
Yeah. And so lines like that have
I
a
have
weight
that
to them.
stuck in my head so forever.
Yeah.
That has stuck in my head since that day.
Yeah.
Like I never forgot that line. I was like, that is a line.
It's a
So
bar.
y'all check out that video. I might even put that in here for real.
Yeah,
Hang on
it's
to the
still
world
up.
because.
Still up. I think the first ever music video I shot.
And I was in it. Hey.
Yeah.
I love that you asked
We
me to
killed
be
that.
in it too, right?
It was only right,
it wasn't
yeah.
even like it wasn't even like a girlfriend role. That's why that was my favorite.
just
That was one of
vibing
my
out.
favorite roles because it was like, yo, it's so nice to be like a homegirl in the video, a sister in the video.
That's right. We're
like
vibing
fam
out.
in the video versus always being the girlfriend,
Video girl.
the video,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was just such a vibe.
And you were doing your thing, and I just felt it would be powerful to have both of us on the come up in the video together. So it was only
Still
right.
doing stuff together out here, right?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
So, so you're gonna do a performance for us, and I want to talk about that song just briefly before we get into it. Where did the inspiration come for that song?
So the name of the song is "Heavy Is the Crown."
Heavy is the crown.
And I dropped that in 2020, Worshiping in the Wilderness album, and it was just feeling the weight of who I am at home. It is a positive, but then there's also a negative, right? Because people think they know who you are because you're a public persona, but they don't really know. And so heavy is the crown, right? So much is given, much is required. And
That's
so,
like
Yeah.
I say that every day.
Yeah.
Too much is given, much is required. It's an honor to have responsibility.
No
I
question.
actually did an audiobook on that,
Yeah.
talking about how it's an honor versus a problem.
That's right.
Responsibility.
Yeah, no question.
So I love that you're mentioning that.
Yeah. And
So-
so it just kind of chronicles not necessarily being the king of something, maybe the king of rap or whatever, but being a king within yourself.
Yes.
But being that king or that queen, you wearing that crown, and sometimes that crown gets heavy. And that's what shows the measure of a king or a queen. Like, can you still wear that thing when your neck getting tired? You know what I'm saying? When it's leaning a little bit. And so a lot of word wizardry in this song, but the focus is wearing that crown and wearing it well.
Yes. So I want everyone to know where to find you. And so if you could just say your handles.
Yes.
We're going to put it down below so everyone will be able to see it clearly.
Yes, Devine Carama everywhere. Devine Carama on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. They can also follow the Kentucky LLC page on Facebook. And all of my stuff is on kingtucky.com. So that's my music, activism, my bio, and ways people can reach out to me. And so holla at me.
So thank you for being on the show.
No problem.
You're
Thanks for
an
having
amazing
me.
human being.
Appreciate you.
Amazing human being.
Thank you.
You guys, don't forget to check out my Instagram, morningmotivation.ae, okay? And check out the website, Morning Motivation with AthinaElaiya. Thank you for joining us, and you are now going to see this amazing performance.
Let's get to it.
The look of the week is provided by Jessica's Body Boutique.
Pursuing God requires the wilderness. It requires it. You can't escape it. You can try, but you can't escape it. Between sin and sanctification and the fact that we just live in a fallen world, trust me, everybody is going to have some wilderness in their life. How do you not fall apart when you get a diagnosis from your doctor that you never in a million years saw coming? How do you stay excited about the hope of a newfound intimacy and dependence on God when you are in the midst of your wilderness?
This is going to be an a cappella flow, and I'm going to show you how I get down. When you try to be King Tucky, heavy is the crown. I was thinking of how to construct my flow to start, and even though I'm a man, I'm kind of feeling like Harriet Tubman and maybe Rosa Parks. I do it for the dude selling hard on the night shift. Then I come through with light up in the darkness like a light switch, because knowledge is a gem. That means you gotta savor like you foil it. If you leave it out uncovered, you might spoil it. An OG told me never wrestle with a pig, because you both to get dirty, but the pig will enjoy it. I'ma spit this acapella and show you how I get down. I can't call myself King Tucky if I can't bear the weight of the crown. It's crazy. I used to pray for the rain to go away. Now I rain over my prey till the pain goes away. We went from whips to our bodies and neck-filling nooses to the modern method ruthless. Our message is conclusive. So while your text shooting and y'all catching bodies, I study philosophy and ethics with Confucius. I spit food for thought with the rhyme. I make the best food. Extravagant design like I was created in a test tube, but never that. Every Sunday through the vestibule, I walk into the church and I worship until the service ends. I remember once I thought about suicide. God said it's not time for you to die. He said, Devine, I got a purpose for you. So if you fall, that's just an opportunity for you to fly. Now I spread my wings like an eagle, get my blood, sweat, and tears one performer for the people. I told you I'ma spit this acapella and show you how I get down. As King Tucky, I gotta understand that heavy is the crown. See, I spit gems that'll make a politician flip-flop. When I'm around, gangsters never let their clip pop. Before they was stone cold, now the fiends won't even hit rock. See, I got fans that love me, but they hate hip-hop. Smooth darts and great rhyme and a flow godly. It spark your mind and move your heart. Mold your body like yoga Pilates. My foes copy my foes floppy disk. I told you cowards, I hold power like the old Gotti. Posted for hours with coke and powder from Okinawa. That dope and sour, that lotus flower, he buried bodies. Me, I'm the righteous version. I write in churches through mics I worship. I strike the serpent like Ike Turner. My Christ perfect ex-wife birthing a beautiful daughter, future queen. I remember back in the 80s, I was breakdancing, spinning like propellers on the chopper. I'll fly. In the booth, it's like I'm sitting in the cockpit. Man, I'm cleaner than a mobster. When it come to lyrics, they rate me higher than octaves of singers in the opera. I'm sick with the flu. No voodoo witch doctor can heal me. Foes sleep with fishes and a lobster, so what? You talking about clapping at 9? Man, I've been rapping these rhymes since my little brother turned 9. I'm like a prodigy. My mob deep bring the havoc. I went from slinging to the addicts to preaching with the pastors. That's a 180 from a demon to an angel. Yeah, I gotta read the terrain and learn to see from different angles. I told y'all, I'ma spit this acapella and show you how I get down. My name is King Tucky, and heavy is the crown. Peace.